Welcome back to being Mrs. S, and I'm gonna sprinkle some BGM on you. Okay, so I guess it's been a little bit of a minute. I got some calls saying, "Hey, when are you gonna put up a new video and update us on your Ozempic life, your weight loss?" And yeah, I realized that it's been a minute. My hands are kind of dry, but this is going to be a very quick update. Yeah, so the last update I gave you guys on my weight loss, and I think I need to keep doing this because I'm still in the journey of the weight loss. It's not completely over just because I've stopped taking Ozempic. So I should probably continue with the update to let you guys know what I'm doing and where I stand right now as far as my goals are concerned with regards to weight loss. So I believe I told you guys that I was done with Ozempic, but in one of my posts, I let you guys know that if I were to gain a certain amount of weight over a certain amount, that I was definitely going to go back on Ozempic. And part of it was because when I finally got off Ozempic, my anniversary was in November. I had birthday parties and travel things to attend. Then there was Thanksgiving and there was Christmas. So I knew that between November and January, it was going to be crazy. I knew that I was going to overindulge, which I expected to. And you know, I was going to go to my doctor and get my numbers and everything, which I did, and my numbers were perfect. But I knew that I was going to overindulge, and I knew that I was going to gain weight. So I stopped Ozempic September. Let me see if I can find my my chart, which I've stopped updating. It's not on this phone. I stopped Ozempic September, I think the third week in September. Oh, the first week in September. First or second week in September. It was when I'd come back from my trip to London. And I stopped Ozempic around that time. And by the time I was done with Ozempic, I think I had gone down to about 170 something. So then I went off Ozempic and I continued losing weight, and I got down to about 163 and some change off of Ozempic for about a month or so. So by the time so around October, almost going into November, I had hit the 160s, which was very exciting for me. But then by the time my my anniversary came around, we didn't travel. We stayed in, in the city. We went to this really lovely restaurant and had like serious, ridiculous eating. And then right after our mini honeymoon, after our anniversary, then there was Thanksgiving. Now Thanksgiving we didn't go too crazy. I didn't do like a whole meal or whatever, but I did eat out of the diet that I put myself on during the weight loss. And then December I traveled and I stayed in an all-inclusive resort for my friend's birthday, and I just kept I ate what I wanted to eat. So as I said, I had anticipated, expected, planned on doing that. And I knew I was going to gain some weight, but I didn't know how much. But I was okay with whatever it was that I had gained. Now, going into January, I had said to myself, if this weight I gained between November and January, I don't lose it by the end of January, I'm going to go back on Ozempic, because if you say how much have I gained since being off Ozempic, meaning Ozempic being the cause, you can say I've only gained 10 pounds. But since I continued losing, I was working out and I got down to 163. Technically, because I'm now in the 180s, I've gained about 20 pounds back. So I'm going to stand up and show you what I look like. Okay. I work out every day, every weekday from Mondays through Friday. And what I focus on is weights. I do weights in the morning, and my workout time frame is anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. You can see my muscles. I'm getting my muscles. I still have a long way to go, but my shoulders look fantastic. I should have been wearing a off the shoulders so you can see what my shoulders look like. But my arms, I'm trying to build my arms and get that nice tone, that Angela Bassett look or whatever. So I've been focusing on a lot of that. My stomach is the problem area, and one thing I've done since I got off of Ozempic and I went back to kind of trying to normalize my eating. Like I said, I didn't really cut out any. I did, but not so much because of the diet. It was just monitoring what it was I was eating and what triggered these hormonal type things that caused me to hold on to the weight more or whatever. So there were some things I didn't indulge in while I was trying to lose the weight. One of those things was dairy. There wasn't a lot of dairy in my diet. Because all I was drinking was green tea and sometimes black tea, and none of that had any dairy in it. Well, my black tea did, but that was after I had lost the weight. So I started drinking black tea. I stopped drinking black tea, went back to hot cocoa, hot chocolate, and now there's a lot of dairy in my diet. But during my weight loss, while I was on Ozempic, all I did was drink green tea, and green tea, I either just had it just with the green tea on its own, or I added lime and lemon juice in it. So there wasn't a lot of dairy in my diet. I've added in a lot more carbs, whereas back then I was strictly focusing 100% on mostly proteins. But now I'm eating more carbs, and I have to eat the carbs because I'm doing more of the weights lifting and things like that. So the carbs for the energy, the proteins for the muscles. So I'm still doing my proteins. I'm still having more proteins than carbs, but I have put in a lot of carbs back in my diet. So I'm sitting at 180 right now, which is in the 180s, which is a huge 20-pound excess. And I said at the end of January, if I don't drop that 20 pounds, I was going to get back on Ozempic. And I thought, why? I know what changes I put in to my diet and my eating habits, so I can just go back to doing that. But I'm enjoying those things so much. I don't want to stop doing those things. God help me. So I said, okay, let's move on to February and see what happens. I mean, it's a leap year. We have that extra day. Let's see if, somehow, some way. But last time I got on the scale, I'm still holding on to those 20 pounds. So I'm still saying at the end of, February 29th, if I haven't dipped down, if I'm still sitting at the number, last I checked, I think it was 187 or something like that. If I'm still sitting at 187, I might just go ahead and get back on Ozempic just for a month to kickstart, to move everything. As I've told you guys, my goal is 130 pounds. I want to get to 130 pounds probably by May. I don't know if that's a possibility. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I think it is if I were to apply those things that I applied last year. But if I don't get to 130, that's by May, that's still, no problem. I'm gonna keep going, but the goal is to get to 130 at some point. And I think I've told you guys the reason I'm doing that is because of that easy 20 pounds that I easily gain back. I think that my perfect size, perfect weight, or everything is between 145 and 150. And with all the weightlifting and things I'm doing, I don't even know if that's, I think I could probably do 160. But, so that's why I want to get to 130, so that, because I know that 20 pounds is easy to get back to. And so if I'm sitting at 150, I'm still good. Also, when I talked to my doctor, who was just blown away by the over 100 pounds lost look that she was looking at, she did mention that when you start getting older, you do want a little bit of body fat, which I was like, honey, I have tons. That's not something I'm worried about. I have tons of the body fat. So I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about that one. But so yeah, that's the update. I did gain back. I gained about technically 10 pounds coming off of Ozempic, but really and truly, since I did go down to 163, it is a little over 20 pounds that I have gained. I'm working out. I'm still toying with the idea of continuing my workouts on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. Even if I don't go down to the gym to work out, maybe go out like today, which I really should have recorded for you guys, because I have a business trip that I have to take in a few weeks, which is crazy, and I had zero work clothes because I've lost all this weight. Also, I work from home. I don't necessarily need to get dressed every day. So I went shopping. It's the worst thing. I hate shopping for clothes. I'm not good at that. I'm not very fashionable. That's number one. So shopping for clothes is the worst thing for me. I probably need a stylist or something, or somebody who can bring clothes to the house and say, this will look good on you. But I'm the worst at shopping. I'm very straight-laced when it comes to clothes. I don't mind shopping for shoes. I can shop for shoes and handbags. Those don't make me crazy. But clothes, I don't know. I think maybe clothes give me a headache because of how my body keeps changing and things like that, and it's frustrating because, okay, I thought I was this size, but I'm not this size, and I know, because I went with my BDD and I saw a top and it was a small petite or whatever, and he was looking at me like, you might want to put that back. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I put it on and it fit perfectly, and he was shocked. So it's weird how my body is, like my upper body, and now with obviously the toning of the body, I'm wearing smalls up top. I can do medium, large in the bottom area. So I mean, I know what he was talking about when he was saying, when he was looking at me like, what you doing? Anyway, so that's really the update. That's what I wanted to tell you guys. It feels good to be able to get up, wear smalls, not that it matters, but the stress from the shopping was something else. But that's the update. I gained 20 pounds. I'm still on my journey. My goal is to get to 130 pounds, just because I want that 20-pound buffer. Really, my ideal weight is between 144 and 150 pounds, maybe even 160, let's be honest. And at the end of this month, on the 29th, I will decide whether I will be going back on Ozempic or not, just for a month, to give me that boost. But if I get on the scale tomorrow and I notice that I've lost a pound or two, then I probably will not, because I know the things that I've added back into my diet. My body loves milk, and I literally drink 2 cartons of milk with my hot cocoa. I drink a big jug of hot cocoa. It's really cold here, and cocoa helps with my regularity, just like coffee does. I don't drink coffee, but when I drink hot cocoa, it's not a problem. Like, I have issues with, I'm not regular. I can go weeks without doing number dos. I could. And I to me, I'm okay. I'm resigned to the fact that everybody is different. Their digestive system functions differently. I'm cool with that because it's not something I necessarily enjoy. However, when I drink the hot cocoa, it's regular. I don't have to force anything out. It's normal. So what I think I am going to do is do a 1 month on, 1 month off with dairy and the hot cocoa. I also have this tea called Dietist tea. It's an herbal tea, but it's mainly senna. So it causes you to go. And that I don't need to add dairy to it. It's just a difficult process because my stomach just gets really tight. It contracts, and I don't enjoy that so much. But I do have to put like 4 or 5 or 6 tea bags for it to work. Maybe I shouldn't use that many, but that's what it is. So I have that. So maybe I can do 1 month off with 1 month on with the dairy, 1 month off with the dairy, because I know that's one of the reasons I'm holding on a little bit to the weight. My waist is inching smaller, but I still have those, what they call love handles, the little back stuff. And then even though I do my pull downs and all those, it's really difficult to get that. And I know that that's part of the whole dairy situation. It's piling up there. It's piling up in the boobage. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff. I have to record my podcast. I haven't recorded my podcast in a long time. I might do it today because right now I really should be watching Real Housewives of Potomac. But this season has been so stupid. Typically I like to watch it and tweet while I watch. But even the tweeting is, the things that people say about it, I'm like, are we watching the same things? The people who are in the show, it's just chaotic. And I was hoping that Potomac would become like my new favorite because they're 2 Nigerians in the show. And I didn't even like I don't like what's going on that front. So I am going to be putting up my podcast, talking about, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, because that's like my favorite, but a lot of craziness has happened on that one. So I want to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Real Housewives of Atlanta. Apparently, the word of the street is Portia is coming back, and she's coming back as a divorcee. It's crazy because I don't think there's a single married person on Real Housewives of Atlanta at this time. I think they're all either on their way to getting divorced or already divorced or in the works. And the funny thing about Portia is what she was getting with that Wobodia guy. I talked about it on my podcast. I talked about how ridiculous it is that out of all the men in the world, it was her friend's husband she chose to be with. And part of the reason she went with that guy is because of the allure of the so-called money that he appeared to have. And I don't know why. Now, I'm not saying that she should change or she should not want to be with people who can afford to maintain the lifestyle that she has, because she is a wealthy woman, at least I think so. She had been on Real Housewives of Atlanta for how many seasons now? She has to be pulling in at least 6 figures. She has a hairline. She has, I think, sheets line. She does music every now and then. She had the thing she was doing with the radio station. She has a lot of sources of income. So I don't think she's particularly hungry when it comes to money. But her idea of wanting to date and marry rich people without actually trying to figure out where their source of wealth comes from and making sure that it's legitimate is kind of baffling to me. Like, I wonder. Anyway, I mean, she's the one who believed there was a real railroad. I've said this before, and I probably shouldn't keep saying it, but I think she's lacking in the sense category. Like, I don't know that she makes full use of her senses, eyes, nose, brain, all of those things when it comes to relationships. And it's actually quite sad. So I wanted to talk about it. You know, that people are speculating on who's going and who's coming back on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Wait and see what's going to go on with that. And bravo, look, I keep telling you, if you guys are doing a Real House or want to bring on another show, sign me up. Let me show you how a Real Housewife is supposed to be. Anyway, that is the update. I've just been really exhausted. I have so much to show, so much to talk about, but it's just at the end of the week I get so beat and just like, you know. But before I sign off right now, I want to thank you guys, my Smooners, those who have subscribed to my channel. I see my subscriber count increasing consistently. I love that you guys watch my videos, like my videos. I love the comments. I hope you're sharing the videos. But I want to say a big thank you. I absolutely love and appreciate that you guys are watching it and enjoy what I talk about. So I don't want you guys to ever doubt how sincere I am when it comes to how much I appreciate that part. I thank you guys so much. And that's why I do this. I'm gonna, as difficult as it is, sometimes I'm really tired. But I enjoy it, and I just want to keep doing this for you guys. I like that you guys send me questions and want to know what's going on with certain aspects and, you know, of my life and things like that, especially with this whole weight loss thing. But it's still going strong. I'm still going strong with regards to that. I've just started doing more working out, more wanting to tone up more, wanting to be stronger, because that's one thing that was lacking. My upper body was extremely weak, couldn't make a serious powerful fist, couldn't open jars no matter what. Now I am extra strong with regards to that. I can twist open anything. It's exciting to see that that's happening. The stronger that I'm getting, but the weight gain was expected, and I pretty much expected that it's 20 pounds. Well, technically it's 10 pounds, but I expected 20 pounds, and that's why I am right now, 20 pounds heavier. I don't necessarily look like it because I've been working out and you know, so I'm toned, but I'm still working hard at it, and I'm still planning to reach my goal of 130 pounds. Yeah, so I will do another video maybe next month to let you guys know if I did end up getting back on Ozempic. I don't believe I will. I honestly don't, because I'm doing so well health wise, working out and getting stronger and things like that. Obviously, also when you're toning up and you're building muscle, you may tend to hold on a little bit of your weight, is what I think. I don't know how true that is, but we'll see. So at the end of this month, on the 29th, I will make the decision to see if I have my doctor. I think I still have my prescription there. I don't know how long they had it on there for, but if it's there, I'll just call it in. If not, just ask my doctor to write me another one. Or I'll decide to keep going in the direction that I'm going, which is doing it on my own. I just cut down a little bit on the dairy. You know, it's like the dairy helps with my hot cocoa, which helps me go. You know, so it's like choose your poison or choose your medicine. Let's stay on the positive. Choose your medicine. Which one's gonna? What do you want to deal with at this time? So anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are on these things that I've shared with you. And don't forget to live, laugh, and love. Bisu bisu, I will circle back. Love you, my Smooners.